What's up YouTube, Trashy here, and today we are finally talking about the best way to get your hands on one of the hardest to get items in Stardew Valley, Magic Rock Candy. Before we get even one step further into it though, please remember that there is no wrong way to play Stardew Valley. Just have fun. And if your version of fun is grinding for Magic Rock Candies to max out your luck buff whenever you want, then you're in the right place. Just keep in mind that Magic Rock Candies are somewhat of a late game item, so this video will absolutely contain spoilers. With that being said, let's get into it. So why do we want Magic Rock Candies in the first place? What is the big deal with these candies? Well, they have the highest luck buff in the entire game, as well as a list of other incredibly useful buffs, especially if you're venturing out into the Skull Cavern. But why do we care so much about luck? Luck is a hidden player stat that can affect many different aspects of your game, from making Skull Cavern runs easier to the amount of crops that you harvest. Daily luck, which can be checked from the TV, and luck buffs from food are technically two entirely different stats. However, their effects do overlap on a lot of things, such as more important things like your chances to find ladders and holes in the Skull Cavern, or your chances to find treasure chests when fishing, to slightly less important but still useful things like the amount of wood dropped from trees. As you can tell, luck is a pretty complex thing in Stardew Valley, which is why I recently put it to the test in a video all about good luck versus bad luck. If you want to know more about the ins and outs of the luck mechanic in Stardew Valley with real comparisons, I have left the video for you in the description below. Now, there are many reasons that you might want to make the most out of a +5 luck buff, although the main reason that I like to grind these psychedelic looking lollipops is to make it as deep into the Skull Cavern as possible on good luck days, taking advantage of the much higher spawn rate for staircases and holes. Regardless of what you want the luck buff for, you're still gonna need to find them. So how do you get your hands on these bad boys? Well, it used to be that the only way to reliably get Magic Rock Candy was to buy it from the desert trader on Thursdays for 3 Prismatic Shards. However, we now have a few different approaches aside from just grinding for Prismatic Shards. The haunted skulls that you can find in the quarry mine have a 0.13% chance to drop Magic Rock Candies. Mystery boxes have a 0.2% chance of containing them, and golden mystery boxes have a 0.4% chance. The raccoon shop also sells one for 20 golden mystery boxes once you've completed their 6th quest, but not until you have foraging mastery. Aside from that, there are a few others that you can get, such as one from the prize machine at Lewis's Manor, one from the Calico Egg Merchant, one as a reward for donating 90 items to the museum, and a couple more, but these aren't as accessible or repeatable as the others. Now I know what you're thinking. None of these odds are great, and the shops that sell them are still super expensive. But just hear me out on this. Slaying haunted skulls and opening mystery boxes is probably not worth your time if you're only looking for Magic Rock Candies. However, buying Magic Rock Candies for either 3 Prismatic Shards from the Desert Trader or 20 golden mystery boxes from the raccoons really isn't that hard if you go about it the right way. And once you have your first rock candy, you can use its luck buff to your advantage to help you get more. So let's talk about the old school method first, Prismatic Shards. Now, there are multiple sources of Prismatic Shards in Stardew Valley, such as monster drops, mystic stones, and mystery boxes. However, the most reliable method of obtaining multiple Prismatic Shards is, unfortunately, still doing Skull Cavern runs. Iridium nodes have a 3.5% chance of dropping Prismatic Shards, and the deeper you go in the Skull Cavern, the more Iridium nodes that you'll find. Now, this method can be done relatively early on in the game, but it does require a little bit of preparation. I actually happen to have both a beginner's guide and a late game Skull Cavern guide that you can check out in the description below, but if you don't feel like watching those videos, I'll give you the Cliff's Notes here. The Skull Cavern has no elevator and it is technically bottomless. However, it is the most reliable place to find Iridium ore nodes. Now, my biggest recommendation for the Skull Cavern is to start making yourself a little jade farm and some crystallariums as soon as you possibly can, and making the most out of the Dwarven statue and the Statue of Blessings. However, I know that this is pretty late game stuff and that kind of preparation is easier said than done. If you do happen to have statues in a jade farm going, or the capacity to make one, you can then trade jades to the Desert Trader for staircases every single Sunday and use your statues when venturing into the caverns. But if you're not quite there yet, do not worry, you can still find a huge amount of Iridium nodes and potentially Prismatic Shards if you prep right. Now, this is better detailed in my beginner Skull Cavern video, but we're going to do a quick rundown here. You're going to need a decent weapon, hopefully a galaxy sword or a lava katana, although you will really want to be avoiding monsters altogether to make the most of your time. You'll also need a stack of your preferred food. I like to buy salads from the saloon, but you can bring whatever is easiest and most accessible to you. Speed and luck buffs are also ideal if you can get your hands on them. I like to bring coffee, either from the saloon or homemade, and trade a few rubies for some spicy eel at the desert trader. I'd also recommend bringing a small handful of staircases, at least 4 or 5, which you can craft with any leftover stones that you've hoarded away, so you can at least skip infested floors or awkward floors like the spiral ones. And most importantly, you are going to want to bring as many bombs with you as you can afford to craft or buy. And last but not least, you should get yourself a desert warp totem from the desert trader for 3 omni geodes so you can warp there first thing in the morning. Now this is because Skull Cavern is all about 2 things: time and luck. The earlier you get to the cavern, the longer you can dive, and hopefully the more iridium nodes you can find. You can save time and energy by using bombs or explosive ammo to find staircases and holes, and the higher your luck, the more staircases, holes, and treasure rooms that you can find. In the early game, I like to keep a chest beside my TV with all of the Skull Cavern related items inside, including a desert warp totem. If it's a good luck day, I will grab everything and teleport straight there. To prove that this method is viable, I went to the Skull Cavern on a good luck day with a setup that I personally consider to be super viable with just a little bit of prepping if you've just unlocked Skull Cavern, which you can check out in my beginner Skull Cavern guide. For the first 50 floors, you should be focused mainly on finding staircases and holes as fast as possible. You should use your slingshot ammo on clusters of rocks near walls or enemies like this, and reserve your bombs for larger clusters in the middle of the room. After floor 50, I usually start looking around a little bit more on each floor before moving on, because more iridium nodes can start to spawn. Pro tip here, having your screen zoomed out as much as you can be super useful if you're looking for iridium nodes. You should also do your best to avoid interacting with enemies at all. Try and loop them while you wait for your bombs to go off, and then just leg it for the staircase. Infested floors are the main reason that you're going to want to bring at least a few staircases, because they can take up a massive chunk of your time, and your goal here is to get as deep as possible to find as many iridium nodes and prismatic shards as possible. If you run out of staircases or bombs during your run, make sure to check your inventory. You might have accumulated enough stone to make some more staircases, or enough iron and coal to make a few more bombs, which can go a long way. Also, pro tip, make sure to check your health before jumping down a hole. Steep falls such as 15 floors can take a big chunk out of your health, and although it can't knock you out, it does leave you vulnerable to attacks as soon as you land. I came out the other side of this run with 1 staircase left, having used all of my ammo and bombs, including the extra ones that I made, but with over 300 iridium ore, a bunch of other goodies including trinkets, and most importantly, 3 prismatic shards. That's enough shards to buy 1 Magic Rock Candy from the desert trader on Thursday, and then I can use that Magic Rock Candy on another good luck day to go back to the Skull Cavern and do an even better run for even more shards. Plus, the amount of ore that I got from this run is absolutely nothing to scoff at, and it could even be used to start a Crystallarium Jade farm for staircases, elevating your Skull Cavern runs to the next level altogether. The maximum amount of prismatic shards that I have ever gotten from just 1 run is 18 prismatic shards on a good luck day. Now this was with the luck buff from a Magic Rock Candy and 2 lucky rings, but it is enough to buy 6 more Magic Rock Candies, although it is worth mentioning that you can only buy 1 per week from the desert trader. While we're still on the subject of prismatic shards, I also felt the need to test out rainbow trout. See, a fish pond full of rainbow trout has a very, very small chance to produce a prismatic shard every single day. So I thought I would test their efficiency for this video. I wanted to really put this to the test, so I used my old farm from the video where I tested how much money you can make from legendary fish roe. Spoiler, it was a lot. And I repurposed it for rainbow trout. I slept through a full month in game, and I got a grand total of 1 rainbow shell and absolutely no prismatic shards. Honestly, it's not even worth taking up space in your farm with one of these fish ponds, let alone 18. I have many regrets. Now, let's talk about mystery boxes and buying Magic Rock Candies from the raccoons, which is a sentence that under any other circumstance would probably land me in a therapist's office, or worse. Now, this is my preferred method, but it does require being quite a bit further on in the game. If you weren't aware, this tree right here will eventually be knocked over by a strong gust of wind and become a stump, starting a questline to help out an adorable family of raccoons. This stump will only appear once you've finished restoring the greenhouse on your farm, with a 10% chance for a strong wind to be heard in the middle of the night every night afterwards, signifying the appearance of the stump. Once you complete 6 requests for the raccoons, these little guys will start selling you as many Magic Rock Candies as you'd like, if you trade them 20 golden mystery boxes per candy, which I know sounds like a lot, but bear with me here for a second. Golden mystery boxes can only be found after you've achieved foraging mastery, and you can find them in a few different places. You can get golden mystery boxes in fishing treasure chests, while panning, while chopping down and shaking trees, from breaking crates in the mines, Skull Cavern in the volcano on Ginger Island, and from slaying monsters. You can also trade 3 normal mystery boxes to the raccoons for a golden mystery box in return, but hold that thought because we're about to take a look at why you can actually find more golden mystery boxes than normal ones regularly. Out of all of the places that we mentioned, slaying monsters is going to be your best bet. This is because golden mystery boxes dropped by monsters are directly affected by daily luck and luck buffs, and it's pretty easy to guarantee yourself a large amount of easy to slay monsters. All you have to do is make yourself some monster musk, a recipe learned by completing a specific request for the wizard from the request board in town, and head to the mines on a good luck day. If you feel like bringing some luck buff food with you, it also wouldn't hurt, but it's not necessary. Having read the Monster Compendium and going with a burglar's ring on can also be beneficial. The Monster Compendium is a book that you will eventually find as a monster drop itself, and it gives monsters a 3% chance to drop double loot when you slay them. The burglar ring complements the Monster Compendium by also increasing the chance for double loot, and it potentially makes each monster roll twice on the loot table, which basically increases your odds of getting more varied loot. To get the burglar ring, you have to have dispatched 500 dust sprites for the monster eradication goal, and if you don't have one yet, this method will probably help you get there. So, what you want to do is head to the mines first thing in the morning, pop your monster musk before you head down, and aim for levels 40 to 70. The reason we want to go to these levels is because this is where many coal sprites spawn. And with the added buff from the monster musk, whenever you enter a floor in the mines, the amount of monsters that would have otherwise been there will be doubled. Now there's various ways that you can do this, from spamming the same floor over and over again because the mines reset when you leave through the ladder, to going through the mines floor by floor. I personally like to take the elevator to floor 45, 55 and then 65, getting rid of any monsters that I find on the way, although if I find a staircase I'll take that to the next floor, clear it and then start again. Now I spent a couple of in-game days doing this right up until I passed out at 2 AM, one of which was a good luck day and the other of which was a neutral day, and I found a total of 20 golden mystery boxes, which happens to be exactly the amount needed to buy a Magic Rock Candy. Now, seeing as luck buffs provided by food also impact the drop chance of golden mystery boxes, I decided to take that Magic Rock Candy, wait until a good luck day, and head back to the mines. I also decided to beef up the buff with a couple of lucky rings too, which you can find in the Skull Cavern, the Quarry Mine, or my preferred method, from panning. With all of my luck practically maxed out, I found 22 golden mystery boxes in one day. Now, if you're looking for golden mystery boxes to open and find stuff inside of, this is absolutely amazing. If you're looking for them to trade for Magic Rock Candies, using a Magic Rock Candy to then only find enough to buy one more is kind of pointless. But going on good luck days or with other luck buffs and lucky rings, you can net yourself enough mystery boxes over a couple of days to buy yourself a Magic Rock Candy, and you don't have to go anywhere near the Skull Cavern to do it. And there you have the best ways to start hoarding yourself some Magic Rock Candies. Like I said earlier, I have multiple Skull Cavern guides and a video all about luck and what it's useful for, so check those out if you'd like more of my mouth sounds in your ear holes. And every time I say that, it feels a little less wrong and a little more right. I'm sorry. Anyway, if you're still here, did you know that the day that this video is supposed to go out is actually International Weed Appreciation Day? No, not the fun stuff. I am in fact not talking about the devil's lettuce, but rather weeds as in plants. So yeah, go outside and tell some weeds that you appreciate them today. And with that being said, I will see you all in the next video. Love you, bye!